Step into a world of luxury and extravagance as we take you on a tour of New York Millionaires Row, where the mansions of old money exude majesty and grandeur. These stunning mansions were built during the Gilded Age, a time of unprecedented wealth and opulence in America, and they continue to inspire awe and admiration to this day. First mansion that we are going to discuss is the Mrs Astor's house. The Asta family initiated the Uptown construction of Fifth Avenue Gilded Age houses. The first appeared on a plot of property between 34th and 5th Avenues. William Backhouse Astor Jr. and his new bride Caroline Astor received the property as a wedding present from William Backhouse Astor Sr. in 1854. The couple had erected a rather modest 4-bay brownstone on the land, which stood in sharp contrast to the magnificent Stuart residence across the street. Caroline succeeded William Backhouse Sr. as Mrs. Astor after his death. She made considerable modifications to the inside of their humble house in preparation for increasing entertaining obligations. She began by transforming the Georgian drawing room into a French Rococo design. The picture of the Astor family was created in the Rococo chamber. The stables were replaced with a new ballroom wing attached to the mansion. Caroline sat poised on a crimson silk couch in this ballroom, her throne, as it became known, and shaped or ruined the aspirations of New York City's social climbers. Up next, we have Frick House. The Henry Clay Frick House is known as the Frick Collection, a storehouse of historic masterpieces, including a secret basement bowling alley. While residing at one of the Vanderbilt Triple Palaces, Frick started to gather his art collection. In 1912, he hired Thomas Hastings of Carrere and Hastings to design his own residence on 5th Avenue and 7th Street. Carrere and Hastings created the iconic New York Public Library in Bryant Park. Frick requested that Hastings construct a small house with plenty of light and air, one that is simple, in good taste, and not ostentatious. Regardless of what Frick stated, he ended up with a vast 61-room mansion adorned with ancient symbols and furnished with Rococo and Renaissance furniture and ornamental arts, as well as his collection of old masters. The Frick estate was recently featured in the HBO Max television drama, The Undoing. While the estate is being renovated, the precious pieces of art have been relocated to the Met Brewer for the first time in almost 80 years. As we move further in the video, we will discuss one of the most prestigious and beautiful houses, so stick till the end to learn about those houses. Moving forward, we will talk about Payne Whitney House. Like many Fifth Avenue homes, the bowed front structure between 78th and 79th Streets was a wedding present from Colonel Oliver Hazard Payne to his nephew Payne Whitney and Whitney's new bride Helene Hay. The residence, designed by famed architect Stamford White of the company McKim, Mead and White, presently functions as the French Embassy's cultural services. When you enter the secret bookshop upstairs, Albertine, you may witness the beautiful marble room, reception room, and Venetian room. The Payne Whitney mansion has appeared on several television episodes, including Law and Order and The Blacklist. The marble figure that graces the mansion's gateway fountain was found in the 1990s to be the work of Michelangelo. For decades, the sculpture stood in the middle of the room, surrounded by thousands of visitors. Lastly, we have the Irish American Historical Society. 991 Fifth Avenue was originally commissioned by Mary Augusta King, daughter of former New York Governor John A. King. The bent front brick and limestone house was designed by architects James R. Turner and William G. Killian for King. It was finished in 1901. According to the Daytonian in Manhattan, the home was acquired by financier David Crawford Clark 4 years after Mary's death, barely 4 years after it was completed. Clark commissioned Ogden Codman Jr. to redesign the interior areas. The American Irish Historical Society bought the building in 1939 for $145,000 and has occupied it ever since. The building was placed up for sale for $52 million in 2021. We hope you enjoyed learning about the fascinating history and architecture of these magnificent mansions. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, Happy exploring!